Public Religion Research Institute found that 24% of Democrats say they've blocked, unfriended, stopped following someone on social media after the election because of their political posts. Only 9% of Republicans and independents say the same, meaning that roughly 2.5 times the number of Democrats are likely to cut you off because you're MAGA and they disagree with you. This is a type of viewpoint intolerance, fragility of thought, lack of confidence in ideas, and overall emotional response. I always talk about this. The left doesn't think, it emotes. The left doesn't ponder questions, analyze things. They feel their feels. That's a dangerous problem. So I played that clip of the guy, in northern Georgia who lives in a nice community. They got a big clubhouse. Instead, the anti-Trumpers, about 60 of them out of a neighborhood of 1,500, so a small legion of kooky people, drive 30 minutes away from their neighborhood to meet in secret so they don't get banned from the pickleball court. I mean, he said that. Those are his words, not mine. I'm just pointing this out. Now, these are people, of course, and I want to explain it to you, that at the very moment that they are blocking their own friends because of their viewpoints, they're also limiting their exposure to any type of news that challenges them. And listen, folks, you listen to this program. By virtue of listening to this program, you get a lot of opposing viewpoints. I spend most of my show, when we talk about the media and the clips that we play here, pointing out to what the left is saying. I'm constantly using their words. For example, why don't I do it now again? Jeff Tobin, who is, well, he got himself into a little trouble, didn't he, once, Robbie? Yes, he was on a Zoom call and was punching the clown, allegedly. Okay. Jeffrey Tubin, he's been rehabilitated now. It's all good. He didn't know that his camera was on. I don't know what it was all about. It was gross. But at any rate, he's a legal analyst over at CNN. He's on Anderson Cooper's show. And here's what he said. He literally talking about these investigations going on into Bolton and others, calls these legal cases unprecedented. They're unprecedented. Where's he been for the last 4 years?
Well, this criminal crusade against political adversaries is completely unprecedented in all of American history. I think that's true. Now, when the Bolton matter, I think in fairness to the Justice Department, it needs to be pointed out that those search warrants were approved by an independent magistrate, both in New York and in Washington and Maryland. So there was at least some check observed. But when you look at the full range of criminal investigations, whether it's Senator Adam Schiff or New York Attorney General Tish James or Lisa Cook, the Fed governor who was the president attempted to fire today, whether that's legal is a separate question. Miles Taylor, who's on tonight. All of these are political adversaries under criminal investigation. And I should add to that list Barack Obama, whom the president said committed treason and is now under investigation. This kind of crusade against enemies is absolutely unprecedented.
Are you kidding me? Or is this real? But again, think back to the folks that only listen to media and take in news sources that confirm their own personal political bias. Think about the people that are dependent on the media echo chamber. And honestly, by the way, I'll point this out too. You will hear things on this show that are more cutting edge than anything you will ever hear on Fox News. And I may have mentioned this to you before. I periodically do appearances every week. In fact, I'm going to be on later today with John Solomon, which I'm really looking forward to. John is a tremendous journalist. So I'm going to be on with him about 3:30 here after the show. And my point here is that I frequently, even on very conservative networks, I will get told, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. these people have threatened us. Da, da, da. And I know on my show, it's my show. I take responsibility for it, and I talk about stuff, and I do it, carefully. But I certainly bring up topics, so you'll hear things here well before you will hear them on Fox. And I think watching Fox by and large is pretty boring because it's just people that mostly agree with me. I like listening to CNN. I like listening. Like is a big word, but I like listening to MSNBC. It challenges me. But again, these are the very people that won't even talk to their friends or neighbors, that when they talk about politics, travel 30 minutes outside of their neighborhood because they're quote unquote afraid, when really what it is, and this is the important point, really what it is they would hate to be confronted by somebody who's going to spit some facts at them. They're hiding because their emotional take on things is not substantiated in logic or fact. That's the fundamental problem here with the left right now.